Zach, a lot of hype going into
Hmm.
Baylor's season opener against Auburn. Months of hype.
Right.
You had the blackout, you had the chrome helmets, prime time game against an SEC team
On a Friday night,
on a Friday
national.
night, which you know how I feel about. But
Yeah.
and I just felt like the way I put it in my column is that Baylor whiffed on the opportunity that was here,
Hmm.
and whiffed on a lot of tackles too.
I mean, that was to me what changed. Like, that's to me that was the game right there. Is that
Mhm.
Baylor's lack of tackling, Baylor's kind of lackluster defense, and I really think they were kind of thrown for a loop when Jackie Marshall got hurt in the first
Sure,
quarter.
yeah,
He's a big part of that offensive line, and Dave Aranda was saying, they had a bunch of things schemed up where he's in certain spots, and not having him, that's probably one of their thinnest positions on the team.
mm,
And so, I really think when he went out, they kind of struggled to find their footing. And it wasn't just Jackie. I don't want to put all the blame on him because I think everybody on the defense would say tackling was poor. As they did. Keaton said it. Devin Bobby said it. Dave Aranda said it. So, but yeah, it was just a woeful defensive tackling performance. Auburn ran however many yards. They could have gotten even more yards. They
mhm.
had over 300. I don't know the exact number, but it was the most that Baylor has given up since 2018. So,
Yeah,
yeah, just not a good defensive performance.
and Auburn ran through Baylor at
Right.
times. I thought one of the most egregious uh, moments for Baylor as a defense was when the Auburn running back, let's see, which one was it? Damari Alston.
Hmm.
Um, he had a 9 yard touchdown run, but they hit him at the two,
Right.
and he just plowed over those guys into the end zone. So there was those kind of miscues, but then you had Jackson Arnold, who some of his plays he would have been okay in a touch football game, like
Yeah.
because Baylor did not touch
It
him.
was just like even that last touchdown, which kind
Yes,
of was the dagger,
it was the
and
dagger.
there were a few times probably on that drive when Baylor wanted to get a stop and just couldn't do it. And then, like you said, Jackson Arnold untouched
Right.
into the end zone. And it was just like, there's the game right there. So it was, yeah, yeah. Jackson Arnold, were you surprised at Jackson Arnold? Because
Yes.
because looking back at his Oklahoma time, he turned it over a lot, but this seemed like the Jackson Arnold, like the 5-star Jackson Arnold that
Hmm.
maybe Oklahoma wishes they had.
Yeah, I think part of the problem at Oklahoma was the offensive line wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe that's better here at Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. Obviously, I mean, he was the killer on the
Right.
ground.
Right.
They I think still have a ways to go in the passing game. Auburn does. Baylor took that away for the
Yeah.
most
Well, they didn't
part.
really need to throw it when they were
Right.
running in
Right.
your throat.
Why? Yeah, exactly. Go to what's working. Um, okay, so that's the bad for Baylor because honestly, I do think there was some really good stuff that you can take out of this if you're the Bears. Starting with, I was extremely impressed with the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They had over 200 yards after the catch. Yeah, I mean they were really explosive in the open field.
I mean, and I mean, we kind of knew that coming in. Like, Sawyer is going to kind of get his, and we talk about the
Look at this, by the way. See these things that they're like. I'm just fascinated by these guys on the catwalk. We're here at McLane at like 1 in the morning.
116. They're like lowering something
Yeah,
down.
I was watching that while you were talking about one of the other things you were talking about. There's a lot of stuff that
There's
happens after the game
It's
ends.
1 a.m. We're talking about receivers, and they're dismantling McLane Stadium.
Yes, apparently, yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But we're
uh,
saying that we knew that the
yeah,
receivers
right,
were good.
right. And like we've seen what Josh or what Sawyer can do, and I think Cole Wilson kind of made his
Mm.
name today.
Hmm.
He had over 100 yards receiving, and he made some big catches, some contested catches, and really that the first deep shot, the first chunk play that Baylor got of the season was a big pass to Cole Wilson, and so
Yeah, he's electric.
yeah, he's a dude that I mean, I know he came from Texas State, so it's kind of I kind of compare him to Ashton Hawkins, but that's he kind of has the same vibe there.
Well, and I think Baylor's receivers receiving core is deep enough that it won't just be Cole Wilson. I mean,
Right.
some days it'll be Josh Cameron, some days it'll be Ashton Hawkins, some days it'll be Kobe
Kobe
Prentice,
Prentice, yeah.
the Alabama transfer. I mean, if you're thinking about where guys are transferring from, you would think, oh man, Alabama,
Right.
over Texas State. But yeah, Cole Wilson showed out, and it was an emotional night for him. We learned after the game that his brother passed away last month. So he was, his brother was very much on his mind. And so, you got to feel good for Cole that he was able to go out and put a performance like he
Right,
did.
right. And I mean, I know I talked to GJ Kennedy down at coaching school, and he had nothing but good things to say about Cole and how he was a smart guy, intelligent receiver, and how he was sad to go. But, this is the kind of opportunity he wanted. And, you know, certainly it looks like he's going to be taking advantage of that.
Baylor gets a second straight Power Four opponent next week. They will travel up to Dallas. SMU's ranked 16th in the country.
I don't know. That sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what I looked and saw. Road game, a team that made the college football playoff last year.
Mhm.
So it doesn't get any easier per se. Um, how do you feel about the Bears, as we sit here a week away, kind of going up to Dallas?
Well, I mean, after watching that game, not very good.
Mm,
Just because and Dave Aranda said this a bunch in his post-game press conference that, SMU plays a lot kind of
runs a
like
lot of the
Auburn.
same plays.
Kevin
Yeah.
Jennings, their quarterback has some legs as well.
Mm.
And so we saw what problems legs like Jackson Arnold has. And I know that I don't think Kevin Jennings is that caliber, and I think SMU maybe doesn't have the offensive line. We'll get into that. But if I'm Baylor right now, I'm not too confident.
Yes, and yet you talk to the players as we did, and I would say their confidence didn't look shaken.
No, no.
I mean, if anything, Keaton Thomas was just pissed off. Like
Well, that's
that.
how he walks around.
That's his default, no doubt. Uh, but here's where I will be the voice of optimism. This
Look at
which is
this. It is a new
yes,
season.
it is a new season. One, okay, I I would be a little confidence shaken about their tackling because that
Right.
was alarming.
Right.
Uh, but some of the runs that Jackson Arnold had where he was untouched, to me were schematic breakdowns,
True. True.
where and maybe sometimes a guy would take a bad angle and overrun, and
Mhm.
he should have taken a better angle. But um, I think give those guys a week and back to the drawing board and all of that. They might be able to snuff out some of that better than they did tonight.
That's fair. And I asked Dave Aranda if some of the tackling issues were fixable, and I
And he
kind
said
of he
yes.
said yes. I kind of agree that if
Mm.
if you can line them up better and get them in the right fits, like yes, you can fix it. But I don't know. I just think I don't know. We'll see. I
We
kind of
will
have to see
see.
it. I kind of have to see it to believe it. And
Yeah. I I don't know. I still think it's going to be a pretty good season for Baylor.
yeah.
Like I just feel like they might have to win some shootouts.
Well, I think and we know that Baylor can put up points. Even today, I think the offense, like we mentioned, the
Hmm.
offense was a positive
Right.
overall.
Yeah. Defense has a long way to go.
And I don't know if that is going to be a Big 12 winning formula,
Mm.
but you're right. Maybe it's a get to a bowl game, but I don't know. Would fans be happy with the bowl game or do they want more? They probably want more.
Probably want more. I would say they probably want to be in the mix,
Yeah. Yeah.
for a Big 12 championship. So we'll see if this team still has that capability. I'm not writing them off. I've learned my lesson. Um, I wrote them off big time last year, and they really proved me wrong. And one thing I did say in my column today was they have too many leaders back from
Right.
that team,
Right.
that I don't worry that much about this team like packing it in,
Correct.
because Sawyer, Josh Cameron, Keaton Thomas, those guys are like, big time vocal leaders and resilient
They're
guys.
not going to let you give up.
Right.
Even after Auburn has a 98-yard kick
Hmm.
return, they're going
Sure.
to be like, "Hey, it's not over. Let's go
Yeah,
back."
and to me, you didn't play that great of a game. Even I think, offensively at a lot of times. I thought
Right.
Sawyer, it was not his most efficient game. He threw behind receivers. He overthrew some guys, threw toward Michael Trigg all night, and Trigg wasn't able. They were not able to connect a whole
Right. Right.
lot. And yet you say all of that, and they're trailing by a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Like they still have a chance to win the game. So a few things go a different way, and you're right there.
And I mean, and the running game wasn't,
Right. It'll be
established, and
better.
that will get better. I think there are signs of hope,
Hmm.
like you said.
Yeah, for
So
sure. So, that's what we're here to do, is just pump you full of sunshine,
yeah,
Baylor fans. So,
it's turning over a new leaf, Brice.
yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, well, they're gonna keep dismantling McLane Stadium in front of our eyes.
Yes, fun times.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.